Feel the weight of centuries pressing down upon you. The air thick with dust and the faint, acrid scent of aged papyrus, mingled with the sharp tang of incense smoldering in bronze braziers. Shadows leap and twist across jagged stone walls, firelight flickering like the breath of forgotten guardians, casting elongated silhouettes that seem to whisper secrets just beyond hearing. Your fingers brush cold, inscribed tablets, symbols etched deep, pulsing with an unseen energy. A low chant rises from the darkness, rhythmic and inexorable, vibrating through your bones like the heartbeat of the earth itself. The flame sputters, illuminating a sealed door etched with warnings. Enter not, lest knowledge consume thee. Your heart races, a mix of terror and insatiable hunger. What lies beyond? This is no mere archive. This is the vault where wisdom was born and guarded with jealous fury. Subscribe to Mind Origin because the deepest truths are hidden in the darkest chapters of history. Today, we breach the forbidden. Sacred text keepers, gatekeepers of knowledge, 10 enigmatic guardians who hoarded the secrets of existence. Prepare to traverse shadowed realms where knowledge is not a gift, but a weapon, fiercely protected, dangerously bestowed, forever altering the human soul. We count down from 10 to 1, each guardian unfolding like a forbidden scroll in the dead of night. Let the revelations begin. Number 10. The Serpent Sentinel, Warden of the Nether Gates. In the stifling underworld's gloom, where the air hangs heavy with the stench of decay and the distant wails of lost souls, the Serpent Sentinel coils eternal vigil. Neti, the chief gatekeeper of the Mesopotamian netherworld, was no benevolent scribe, but a formidable enforcer. His mythological role as the unyielding porter of Kur, the realm of the dead, ensuring sacred knowledge of the afterlife, remained sealed from the living. Neti guarded the 7 gates of the underworld, each a barrier between mortal folly and divine mysteries, permitting passage only to those deemed worthy by Ereshkigal, queen of the dead. His presence enforced the taboo on necromantic texts, preserving the balance between life and oblivion. Historically, Neti appears in Sumerian and Akkadian epics from the 3rd millennium BCE, inscribed on clay tablets unearthed at Nippur and Ur, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh and Inanna's descent to the netherworld. Rituals invoking Neti occurred in ziggurat temples like Etemenanki in Babylon, where priests performed funerary rites at geographic thresholds, riverbanks or mountain passes symbolizing the descent to Kur. These ceremonies involved libations of beer and blood, with scribes reciting incantations from the Maklu series to ward off unauthorized knowledge seekers, often during lunar eclipses when the veil thinned. Unfold the myth as shadows lengthen. The gates groan open, one by one. Neti's form, serpentine and armored in obsidian scales, looms at each threshold. Inanna, goddess radiant, demands entry. He bars her, voice like grinding stone. Surrender your crown, your jewels, your divine robes. Layer by layer, she strips, power fading with each gate. At the 7th, naked and humbled, she faces judgment. Neti watches impassive as Ereshkigal strikes her down, knowledge's price paid in divine blood. Yet resurrection stirs, Neti relents, the gates reverse, wisdom reclaimed at the brink of annihilation. Psychologically, Neti embodies humanity's terror of the unknown beyond death, the fear of dissolution, where identity unravels into nothingness, connecting to existential dread, Kierkegaard's angst. Philosophically, he guards the Platonic divide between ephemeral flesh and eternal forms, fostering humility in the face of cosmic boundaries. A lesser-known intrigue, in rare Akkadian fragments from Assur, circa 1800 BCE, Neti is depicted with a whispering tongue, a forked appendage that imparts cryptic riddles to select souls, granting partial knowledge but cursing them with madness if shared, a safeguard ensuring sacred texts remained esoteric. Number 9. The Veiled Scribe, Weaver of Measured Wisdom. Amid the moonlit colonnades of temples where starlight filters through veils of linen, the veiled scribe etches her decrees. Seshat, the Egyptian goddess of wisdom and measurement, her mythological role as Thoth's consort and the meticulous recorder of pharaonic deeds, guarded the sacred texts of architecture, astronomy, and history. Adorned with a 7-pointed star headdress, she ensured knowledge was dispensed in precise portions, preventing the chaos of unchecked revelation. Culturally, Seshat's worship peaked in the Old Kingdom, c. 2686 to 2181 BCE, centered at the House of Books in Heliopolis, where scribes ritually inscribed papyri during the Sed Fest. The Palermo stone and Turin canon, royal annals from Memphis, bear her influence, with rituals involving palm stalks, her symbol, measured against temple foundations. Geography played key. Performed in the Nile Delta libraries or pyramid complexes like Saqqara, these ceremonies aligned with Sirius's rising, drawing architects from Thebes to Alexandria in later periods. Witness the myth's precision. The pharaoh stands before the unfinished pyramid, sands whispering. Seshat appears, palm frond in hand, stretches it skyward. Stars align, measurements flow, 7 cubits here, 9 there. Thoth nods, inscribes. A flaw, a misplaced stone. Seshat strikes, structure crumbles. Rebuilt true, the pyramid rises eternal, knowledge locked in stone. Psychologically, Seshat addresses the desire for certainty amid uncertainty, the fear of miscalculation leading to ruin, echoing cognitive dissonance theory, where structured knowledge resolves anxiety. Philosophically, she embodies Aristotelian moderation, balancing the pursuit of truth with restraint, satisfying human cravings for order while cautioning against excess. Mysterious detail. In esoteric New Kingdom amulets from Deir el-Medina, c. 1550 BCE, Seshat's shadow script, invisible ink revealed by moonlight, was used for hidden architectural secrets, accessible only to initiated scribes, a cryptographic safeguard against knowledge theft. Number 8. The Two-Faced Threshold, Sentinel of Transitions. At the crossroads where dawn meets dusk and beginnings kiss endings, the two-faced threshold stands watchful. Janus, the Roman god of gates and passages, his mythological role as the duality-wielding keeper of temporal knowledge, guarded the sacred texts of history and prophecy. With faces gazing forward and back, he controlled the flow of wisdom between eras, ensuring revelations arrived at divinely ordained moments. Historically, Janus's cult dates to Rome's founding, c. 753 BCE, with his temple in the Forum, a double-doored sanctuary opened only in war, closed in peace. Livy's History of Rome describes rituals during the Lupercalia festival, where priests invoked Janus with keys and scrolls from the Capitoline Hill archives. Geography, centered in Rome's urban heart, rites extended to border gates like the Porta Janualis, attracting augurs from Ostia to the Tiber's banks. Unveiled the myth's duality. Rome trembles at war's eve. Janus stirs, Doors creak wide. One face grimaces past horrors, the other peers into future glories. A consul approaches, offers wine-soaked bread. Janus speaks, pass, but carry knowledge's weight. Victory follows, doors slam shut, peace sealed, texts archived. Betray the right, doors jam open, chaos floods. Psychologically, Janus confronts the fear of change, the anxiety of liminal spaces, linking to transition rituals, Van Gennep's rites of passage, fulfilling desires for continuity amid flux. Philosophically, he prefigures Hegelian dialectics, synthesizing opposites into progress, addressing human yearnings for historical meaning. Enigmatic whisper. In arcane Etruscan precursors, c. 700 BCE, Janus held a mirror key, a reflective artifact allowing glimpses of alternate timelines, used in secret senatorial divinations, a prophetic tool shrouded in lost lore.
Number 7. The Scripted Oracle, Herald of Written Fates. In the mist-shrouded mountains where echoes carry destinies, the scripted oracle inscribes unyielding truths. Tyr, the Armenian god of written language and rhetoric, his mythological role as the prophetic scribe, guarded sacred texts of wisdom and arts, interpreting stars for kings. As Apollo's counterpart, he ensured knowledge's dissemination served divine harmony. Culturally, Tyr's veneration arose in the Urartian period, circa 680 to 590 BCE, with temples at Erebani, modern Yerevan, where inscriptions from the Von Lake stele detail oracular rites. Rituals involved stylus-inscribed clay tablets during the Akitu-like New Year festivals, geography tying to Armenia's high plateaus, drawing scribes from Tushba to Musasir. Inscribed the myth's prophecy. A king ascends the oracle's peak, storm clouds gather. Tyr manifests, stylus flashing. Write your query, he commands. The king inscribes, tablet glows, fates etched. Alliances forged, enemies felled. Ignore the script, kingdom crumbles, words unerasable. Psychologically, Tyr taps desires for foreknowledge, the fear of unpredictability, aligning with confirmation bias where confirmed fates reduce uncertainty. Philosophically, he echoes deterministic views, Stoic logos, satisfying quests for rhetorical mastery amid chaos. Obscure fact. In Hittite-influenced variants, circa 1400 BCE, Tyr's echo tablets, resonant clay that replayed prophecies when struck, were used in royal councils, an acoustic memory device lost to invasions. Number 6. The River of Enlightenment, Flowing Veins of Wisdom. Where lotuses bloom in eternal symphony, the River of Enlightenment cascades. Saraswati, the Hindu goddess of knowledge and arts, her mythological role as the flowing embodiment of sacred texts, guarded the Vedas' purity, inspiring poets and sages. Seated on a swan, veena in hand, she channeled wisdom's riverine flow. Historically, Saraswati's cult flourished in the Vedic period, circa 1500 to 500 BCE, with hymns from the Rig Veda recited at the Saraswati River, now Gagar Hakra, sacred geography in Punjab's plains. Rituals during Vasant Panchami involved immersing scrolls in her waters, attracting rishis from Harappa to Taxila. Flow through the myth's melody. The cosmos hums silent. Saraswati strums her veena, notes ripple, forming rivers of verse. Brahma listens, Vedas born from her lips. A demon steals the texts, she pursues, melody ensnaring him. Knowledge returns, arts bloom eternal. Psychologically, she fulfills creative desires, the fear of expression's void, linking to flow state as Csikszentmihalyi, where immersion resolves identity fragmentation. Philosophically, she incarnates Shabda Brahman, word as ultimate reality, addressing yearnings for transcendent communication. Mysterious veil. In tantric traditions, circa 500 CE, Saraswati's silent veena, a meditative tool without strings, induced auditory hallucinations of cosmic knowledge, a sensory deprivation technique for adepts.
Number 5. The Raven's Sacrifice. Rune's blood-bought lore. In Yggdrasil's gnarled roots, where ravens croak omens, the raven's sacrifice hangs heavy. Odin, the all-father of Norse lore, his mythological role as wisdom's relentless seeker, barded the runes, sacred texts of fate and magic, through self-inflicted torment. One-eyed wanderer, he bartered sight for insight, ensuring knowledge's price deterred the unworthy. Culturally, Odin's saga echoes in the Poetic Edda, ca. 13th century CE, but oral from 9th century, with rituals at Uppsala Temple in Sweden, where hangings mimicked his ordeal during blot sacrifices. Geography, Scandinavia's fjords and forests, rites drew shamans from Norway to Iceland. Hang in the myth's agony. Odin pierces himself with Gungnir, dangles from Yggdrasil's branch. 9 nights, no food, no mead, winds howl, visions assault. Runes reveal below, angular, bleeding power. He grasps, screams triumph, wisdom seized from pain's abyss. Psychologically, it confronts self-destruction fears, the desire for transcendence through suffering, akin to masochistic catharsis, Reich, resolving powerlessness. Philosophically, it prefigures Nietzsche's will to power, embracing sacrifice for higher truth. Shadowed Secret. In Sami-influenced variants, ca. 800 CE, Odin's raven scrolls, feather-etched hides, were buried in shamanic graves, whispering to grave robbers, inducing madness, a booby-trapped knowledge curse. Number 4. The Winged Messenger, Cipher of Hermetic Secrets. Through labyrinthine paths where echoes mislead, the winged messenger darts. Hermes, Greek, Thoth, syncretic, trickster scribe, his mythological role as knowledge's swift courier, guarded hermetic texts, esoteric wisdom veiled in symbols. Caduceus bearer, he bridged mortal and divine, encoding truths for the initiated. Historically, Hermes Trismegistus emerged in Hellenistic Egypt ca. 300 BCE, with the Corpus Hermeticum compiled in Alexandria's libraries. Rituals in Serapeum temples involved encoded papyri readings during Thoth's festivals. Geography, Mediterranean crossroads from Athens' academies to Egypt's Nile Delta. Dash through the myth's cunning. Hermes slips into Apollo's herd, steals cattle with reverse tracks. Confronted, he invents the lyre, strings secrets. Apollo trades, Hermes gains prophecy's art. Knowledge bartered, veiled in melody. Psychologically, he exploits curiosity's thrill, the fear of deception, linking to cognitive flexibility, Piaget, satisfying desires for clever navigation. Philosophically, he embodies hermeneutics, Gadamer, interpreting hidden meanings. Cryptic nuance, Renaissance revivals, ca. 1560 CE via Ficino, revealed Hermes' seals, wax-imprinted codes on texts, unlocking alchemical visions only under specific lunar phases, a timed esoteric mechanism.
Number 3. The Abyss Artisan, crafter of divine decrees. From Eridu's watery depths, where reeds pierce primordial mud, the Abyss Artisan emerges. Enki, Sumerian, god of wisdom and crafts, his mythological role as keeper of the May, sacred tablets of civilization's blueprints, guarded knowledge's foundational codes. Watery lord, he dispensed wisdom judiciously, preventing misuse. Archaeologically, Enki's hymns appear on Uruk tablets, c. 3200 BCE, with rituals at Eridu's Abzu temple involving ablutions and clay May replicas. Geography: southern Mesopotamia's marshes, rites spread to Nippur and Larsa. Craft: the myth's ingenuity. Flood threatens, Enki warns Ziusudra. Ark built, knowledge preserved. Gods rage, but Enki intercedes, humanity spared, May bestowed. Agriculture, laws. Wisdom flows from his mouth like sweet water. Psychologically, Enki assuages creation fears, the desire for ingenuity against apocalypse, echoing resilience theory by Maston. Philosophically, he parallels Promethean fire, gifting progress amid divine jealousy. Veiled enigma? In Neo-Babylonian seals, c. 600 BCE, Enki's fish skin cloak hid micro-inscribed May, readable only underwater by priests in trance dives, an aquatic decryption ritual. Number 2. The Owl's Vigil, Stratagems' Silent Watch. In Acropolis's olive groves, where moonlight silvers armored leaves, the owl's vigil perches. Athena, Greek goddess of wisdom, her mythological role as strategic knowledge's sentinel, guarded texts of warfare and philosophy, olive branch and spear in balance. Virgin warrior, she wove intellect's web, ensnaring folly. Classically, Athena's cult thrived in Athens' Parthenon, c. 447 BCE, with Panathenaic processions reciting Homeric hymns. Rituals involved owl sacrifices and scroll offerings at Erechtheion. Geography: Attica's hills, extending to colonies like Syracuse. Perch on the myth's strategy. Arachne weaves hubris, Athena challenges. Tapestries clash, God's glory versus mortal flaws. Arachne excels, but pride dooms, transformed to spider, eternally spinning. Wisdom's lesson? Humility before knowledge. Psychologically, she quells strategic anxieties, the desire for victory amid uncertainty, aligning with game theory by von Neumann. Philosophically, she incarnates Sophia, Aristotelian virtue, balancing intellect with ethics. Obscure gaze? In an Eleusinian Extensions, c. 600 BCE, Athena's owl eyes, lenses in masks, allowed night visions during mysteries, granting initiates hidden sight, an optical secret for philosophical enlightenment. Number 1. The Veiled Abyss, incomprehensible nexus of all knowing. Beyond the veil where form dissolves into infinite whisper, the veiled abyss pulses, cosmic, unfathomable. Amun, the hidden supreme, his mythological role as the self-begotten intelligence preceding creation, guarded the ultimate sacred texts, the unutterable names and blueprints of existence itself. Breath without body, he was the unique becoming multitudes, his essence nearly incomprehensible, a vibration sustaining reality's fabric, defying mortal grasp. Pinnacle in Theban theology from the Middle Kingdom, circa 2050 BCE, Amun's rites unfolded in Karnak's hypostyle vastness per the Luxor temple's Opet reliefs. From the Amduat, priests breathed incantations in sealed chambers during solar alignments. Geography: Nile's eastern banks at Thebes, his influence radiating invisibly to every temple from Delta to Nubia. Grasp, if you dare, the myth's immensity. From Nun's formless void, a cry erupts, unheard yet all-pervading. Amun's self stirs, lapis essence vibrating. Worlds coalesce from his breath, gods, stars, souls. His name a sonic seal, utter it and creation unspools. He hides, for revelation would shatter the finite. Psychologically, Amun evokes awes terror sublime, Burke, resolving ultimate fears of meaninglessness, desires for unity. Philosophically, he transcends monism, Parmenides, the ineffable one beyond comprehension, where knowledge dissolves into being. Cosmic riddle, In esoteric Amarna fragments, circa 1350 BCE, Amun's black light form manifested in total darkness rituals where priests ceased existing momentarily, glimpsing the nexus, a dissolution so profound survivors emerged transformed, guardians of the incomprehensible forever.